Okay, so just a quick overview on Osmosis, just so you can visually see it for the visual learners. So what you need, this is the Cosmos Atom is the token, Cosmos network. And the reason that we're kind of playing in here, because the user interface is so cool, and also it's just really easy to navigate. And I feel if we can nail this, then we can really get good at staking and pooling and being really early when the flare network happens. And what I'm thinking with that is, and I'll show you, some of the percentage returns for some of the pools at the moment are over 100%. Now, when they first came out, you know, we're kind of late-ish to the party in terms of the community, but not in terms of, you know, who's in crypto. So, you know, there would be like, I don't know, 1,000% returns and things like that. And I remember when I was playing in the Flare network, the test network, when I was a tester, I had no idea what I was doing. I was pushing buttons. And yeah, some of the percentage returns were just ridiculous. So when it launches, if we can be ready to go, that would be awesome. So it's really just getting used to the concepts. And I mean, they do change, but if you've got the basic fundamentals and if you're a visual learner, then you'll just need to see this. So you need the platform to be able to be part of the pooling staking, and that's Osmosis. And the wallet that you will need is called Keplr. And sorry, Keplr. Keplr. And this is kind of what it looks like. Now, I don't have a lot of play in here. I just want to show you. So when you download it, so you'll just go to KFLR and Keplr, so the interchain wallet. So you just go here, find it, and then you would just install for Chrome, or I've got Brave. So just to show you what it looks like, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so you can get the app as well. Okay, so we can have the wallet on our desktop. Remember, I'm just playing on my desktop, and this is what it looks like. So once it's downloaded, and you can see here all the different, these are all just random decentralized coins that are building on the same network. And some of them will be really familiar, like JUNO, and some of them won't be familiar, but they will become familiar. IrisNet, I noticed in Australia, that's actually on CoinSpot. Certic, I mentioned, the Quantstamp being the upcoming baby, a good investment. And the Secret Network is starting to be, it's on quite a few different exchanges, so you might have seen that. Akash is a new one upcoming, and a lot of experts are starting to talk about these. So it's really just sort of familiarizing yourself in a visual format. So download the Keplr Wallet and then open Osmosis. And again, you can just, you know, do a Google search, or I'm on pre-search. So Osmosis, and, you know, it will come up for you. It's just a web platform. So on the left-hand panel, you've got trade, pools, assets, stake, vote, and stats. And all of these pretty much are ways to get extra rewards, and they're all different criteria and things like that. And, you know, we're kind of learning the criteria. I don't have a lot in here. I'm just playing on tiny pieces. But what I want to just invite you to is have a look at the pools. And then I'm in pool 604. I've got $13 in there. And yeah, just move down, and just, I invite you to look at one that's paying quite a high APR, and you have a look at the pool liquidity. And really where the money comes from here is, you know, all those transaction fees for the community, and you're getting rewarded because you're adding your assets to the pool of liquidity. And it's building the community power, if you like. You're offering your liquidity, my big $13, I'm offering into the community to generate the activity, if that makes sense. And then you get rewarded in the transaction fees. That's kind of how I'm starting to really understand it now. And so I was looking for one sort of above 100%, you know, being in the Flare network, I was noticing there were, you know, when they first came out. Now, a lot of these have, the APR has come down. Okay, so the more people that come into the network, and that's the thing with pooling, the more people that are in, the less returns for us. So it's really good to get in early and play with some of these. And Jennifer had mentioned that there's also going to be some free airdrops and things like that. So we just need to work out what the criteria would be, what sort of assets that we need to have. So I've got my assets in here, and you can see there's a list here. And my nephew is actually called, his nickname is Lum. So that actually appealed to me. That one is like, there's no sort of crypto or technical reason behind that one. You could see I've just put a big 18 cents in there. I was swapping and playing. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was just playing. And I've got some in here. Stargaze I like, and then obviously there's the JUNO coming through. The Netta is being talked about. I believe that that's in testnet at the moment. So I believe that, I don't know too much, I'd have to do some research, but I believe that's a new token coming through to just keep on your radar. And Luna, we've probably, most of you have probably heard of Luna. You've probably heard of Crow, which is the crypto.com, their native token. And since they've had a bit of bad press lately, I'm just not sure what's happening with them. But they, they're doing some big promotions with sports stars and things like that. I just, I was alluded to some corruption earlier on. I don't know if they're reinvigorating themselves. I would say that might be a yes. I guess we'll just see. No one really knows, right? So, and then there's the Cosmos and the Atom. Now, if I want to play some more, I would need to add some more Cosmos. And there's my address. So I just go to deposit, and I can, if I'm on an app, which most of you are, you can just scan the code and that would come up with the address. So from your exchange, for example, I'm in CoinSpot, I go to my Osmosis wallet and I would send. And most of you are pretty good with that. If you've got any problems with sending and receiving, there's no memo on these ones. So pretty straightforward. And then if there was an opportunity, if I had some in there, and there's, I can see I've got some Atom to claim, but I just, you do need a little bit of gas, so always hold a little bit behind, just to be able to power the transaction. And those transaction fees go into the pools, which is, so you're really being part of a community. And so just starting to learn it. And you certainly wouldn't need to be an expert. I just wanted to give you a visual overview of what it looks like. And then the first step, obviously, we need to use these really great training videos that are being done specific for specific functions. I really couldn't explain it any better because I'm learning it as I go as well. But I think that this is a really exciting platform for us to get really quite savvy and start, not necessarily about earning money. If you win, great, but more about the learning, the decentralized. And I think, this could potentially be quite a cool ecosystem to be part of. And then when Flare comes, then we've nailed it. We know exactly what we're doing, and we can get straight into the bigger pools. Staking opens up a new kind of browser for the Keplr Wallet. And I noticed it has each of the individual tokens down the left-hand panel as well, and all the different sort of chains. These are all the sort of different blockchains that are part of the network. And so, yeah, I mean, the technicals can be quite complex, but at the end of the day, like, they're all talking to each other. They're all part of a network. So Cosmos is really the middle point, if you like, that's enabling all these different blockchains and everything to talk to each other. And okay, what else do I want to do? So say if you've got Osmosis and you want to stake, you would just click stake, and you would pick one of these signal providers. Now, this is the commission that they're charging. So this one's pretty simple because they're all charging pretty much the same amount, and you wouldn't be going higher. You'd just pick one that's, only charging 5% or whatever. And you have a look at the, the voting power in there. That's the volume of people that are pooling and trusting. I've been using this one. I don't know. I kind of randomly guess. It's, it's luck of the draw. Yeah, I guess you get good at it once you know who the best validators are. And what they're doing is they're leveraging your coins and playing in the market, I guess, and doing the trade. It's like a virtual broker is the way I kind of see it. And so you can just go in there, click manage. You can learn a bit more about this particular validator. And you can delegate. So delegate means that you're just sort of handing it over to them to do their work and to return some funds for you. And so you would just monitor it, really. Now, with the staking, it's locked up for 21 days on this particular wallet. And yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the visual basics. And it could look quite busy at first. And you can see here, if you've got Atom, for example, or you've got some Crow, you can actually send it in. So you'd go to your Keplr wallet and you could select the different, you could select them there. If you've got any of those, then you can actually send them in, and that's your address. Okay, so you've got all the independent ones, because some of you might have these on exchanges. I know quite a few people in the US might have some Crow or UK. And so, yeah, you just click on save. I had some. You click on half or max, and, what do you want to swap it for? And you could say if you want to go in the pool of JUNO and Osmo, then you would if that's a pool, then you would, just need to make sure that you've got at least 50% of each of that. I'm looking through, and there's new ones being added every day. So you can just practice. As you can see, anytime I sort of jump into something new, I practice on quite small amounts. What I love about this network is that anyone can play in here. I think the minimum amount, I don't even know if there is a minimum, but, like $10, $20 maximum. I had half a Cosmos half an atom that I was able to send through, move it out of Exodus. So because my coins were staked in Exodus. So Exodus offering 13% staking on your Cosmos tokens. So that's always a good option as well if you don't really want to play in these spaces. I feel like this is the next step. And at least if you just kind of download the the apps and the platform, some of you are like kind of way in here and pushing buttons just like I am, and then voting as well. You can go into the votes, and then you get small rewards for voting and being part of the network and contributing. I voted on Netta, not because I knew what all that meant. It was just like yes to Netta. So yeah, it just depends on. I could be dangerous in here swaying the votes, but yeah, it's probably the first time ever in our lifetime that our voting's really mattered, right? You can have a look up here and have a look at Cosmos Hub, 14%, Osmos, 84%, Secret Network paying 24% per year. So, the different networks, you'd probably be looking at the Osmosis staking because it's offering more rewards. And you can see, it shows you your staking. As I think it was Jennifer that mentioned that it's a little bit tricky to kind of see your balances. I must say it can get a little bit tricky. So it's, just do what you can. All of us are kind of just pushing buttons and seeing what happens. And it is super fun. And especially when you start to see some rewards, and the next morning you'll wake up and then it'll be like claim reward. And as long as you've got a tiny bit left in there, you haven't swapped out all of it, a tiny little bit to fund the transaction, then you're sweet and you can claim a little bit of rewards. And and obviously I don't have a lot in here, so there's 0.01 of an atom or something like that, but it's still rewards and it's still learning to receive, and it's still learning the outputs of if you click at this button, this is what happens. And so that's the best place to learn. This is a great learning platform because it's so user-friendly in terms of it's really clear what you're pushing. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Any questions, let me know.